AI and old men just don't go together. My comeback right away was, that's exactly who needs it.
The number one thing that it built for me was how to have a hard conversation. What it did is it figured out that that's my limitation right now. When we end up sending them the output, they're like, oh my goodness, this came out of our conversation? Yeah, this is my jam. And so what I learned, right, and I have been on this journey, and I've learned just a tremendous amount about myself and how I take action and what do I avoid, right? And so I think I've become pretty self-aware, but when you plug this in, my first agent wasn't something technical. It wasn't building a massive appraisal system or to provide, advice at the kitchen table, although that was the second one. The number one thing that it built for me was how to have a hard conversation. And, what it did is it figured out that that's my limitation right now. And I don't struggle with hard conversations between buyer and seller or negotiating for people. It's when it relates to me and my emotions are involved, right? And then my shadow behaviors, because I'm a 9/7, right? I love peace and harmony and I'm positive, but my shadow behavior is I avoid stuff like this. And now that I'm aware of it, right, we built this AI tool to help me do this, right? And part of it is even kind of rehearsing it and breaking it down. So what's really interesting about that is to help me to get to the next level. This is the capability I need to conquer first.
Elaine Fraser, are you hearing that? Would you like to co-create on building a hard conversation tool for all the farmers in Western Canada? Elaine is saying at Tim, mediation skills in Winnipeg will be your best friend in gaining skills to have hard conversations and do great mediation. We all need that going forward. And that's part of getting that 50 billion bucks down the tube is us not, fighting with our non-farming siblings. Just take care of your non-farming siblings and everything will be cool. Harry Seaman says, I have used AI for the past 3 years and more, and I'm amazed at how far I've come and how it is helping me every day and throughout the day. And I know that your the little gospels that you send me every day are being shared by that very method, and I appreciate that. I'm careful how wide I talk about it because there are still many doubters. And I think there's some shame associated with this because there's so much vitriol about this. And of course, there's concerns and there's right to be doubtful and skeptical, but some really interesting, opposition to this. But I feel you there. So, but I'll always answer truthfully and carefully when people ask me about whether I use AI. And of course, we're sharing broadly and proudly here, and you can see the quality of people on the panel here. So how do your panelists handle the use of AI with the general public? Does anybody want to speak to that? Like, are you getting some pushback or is there some shame with being a heavy AI user? Does anybody want to jump in on that?
Yeah,
I'm just getting lots of questions.
Good.
I don't know what it looks like.
Nobody's egged your house yet?
I couldn't. The first 3 weeks I couldn't explain it, but I'm getting closer to being able to explain it now. So
it's hard to put into words. Who else has some? Yeah, I appreciate that, Joe. That's good that it's been positive. Robert, you had a comment?
Yeah, I deal with all kinds of people in different aspects of my life, whether it's on the Chamber of Commerce or whether it's in my church group or my clients. And there's always those people that say, well, I'll never touch AI. And the one that resonated with me the most is when I was talking to my 14-year-old grandson, and he made the comment, Grandpa, AI and old men just don't go together. And my comeback right away was, that's exactly who needs it. Because the older I get, it's like filling your computer up, your hard drive gets to a certain point and then it loses stuff. That's where I am in life now. My hard drive's just about full. And when my hard drive crashes, then they'll put me away in an institute someplace so I can be taken care of. This allows me to be able to take that data and have it for generations.
Well, I respect too that we can have different beliefs and be respectful of them. Elaine is saying, "Wow, grandson, respect your elder." Maybe Elaine needs to come over with the bull and facilitate this conversation with your grandson. Elaine is saying, "Protect your IP and your security of IP." That's definitely something we talk about. And there's a whole thing I don't want to get into today. I think there's lots more topics we could unpack about AI. I don't want to get too off track today, but security, IP. We do sign a confidentiality agreement in the cohort, and our agents are also trained never, ever, 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 especially as they get doing more on the front stage without me, and I know it because my co-creators are sending me emails and text messages that I know is them, but it's the agents on behalf of them. Nothing confidential goes front stage ever is what we endeavored. Not that it's perfect. I've got plenty of human beings in my life, including myself, that make mistakes. But Tim, did you have a comment on the AI
I
thing?
do. Yeah. Like as it relates to kind of clients. And so we are more and more recording our conversations kind of with our clients. And we ask them for their permission. Are they comfortable with that? And so we record it, we transcribe it. We take that transcription, run it through a framework, right? And then kind of produce like a report to send back to them. And, we get this little bit of, really, you're kind of doing that? Yeah, that's no problem. And then when we end up sending them the output, they're like, oh my goodness, this came out of our conversation. Yes, it came out of our conversation with our framework applied over top of it. And so they're like, yeah, this is great. So there is a little hesitation, but I think they're receptive. But as soon as you produce something for them in conjunction with your own framework, they're like, oh yeah, I see the value in this.